Hey guys, what's up? So I had a poll on my Instagram about what kind of video I should do next, and a lot of people asked for what it's like in an eating disorder hospital. So I'm gonna go with that one. I was in PHP. So PHP is a partial hospitalization program. So it's like one step down from inpatient. Inpatient is where you live there, you sleep there, you eat all your meals there. You don't really leave there until they okay you to step down to a lower level of care. But I was placed in a PHP originally, so that's it's like a day program, Monday through Sunday, so like 7 days a week. It's 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and you eat almost everything there at the place. So I'm just gonna kind of go through, like I wrote a list of stuff that like a lot of people like might not even realize like that's what goes on in one of these places. So I was in the ERC in Texas, the Eating Recovery Center, and I actually really liked it. It was very, very helpful for me because I didn't actually know how sick I was until I was in there, and just like going through all the processing groups with everybody and eating the you had to be on a weight restorative diet, so like eating much more food than I was used to eating and stuff. So that really opened my eyes to like how big of a problem this actually was. So I'm very grateful for this. So I'll start out with like some things you might not even think about. So like when you're in ERC, you cannot talk about specific foods. So like you can't talk about bread, you can't talk about broccoli, you can't talk about candy. Every food and drink is considered, you call it a component. Everything is a component because some foods and stuff might trigger people, and it's a very recovery focused environment. So like there are a ton of different like rules to kind of avoid triggering people. So all foods are labeled components. You have to say component. You can't really talk about like if you like the food or not, or like if you think it tastes terrible or whatever. Like you can't be like, oh my gosh, like I don't like those carrots, they're mushy. Like you can't say stuff like that because that might trigger other people to not want to eat that. And you know you're already struggling enough with not wanting to eat, so we don't want to make it any worse. So you can't really talk about like good or bad foods because food has no moral standing. All foods are good foods, all foods fit. That's things that they tell us there. We can't talk, no calorie talking, no weight talking. Don't talk about like losing weight. Don't talk about how many calories you think you're eating or how many you used to eat, because those things can be triggering. They do blind weights there. So they just kind of keep you in check with the blind weights, make sure you're becoming weight restored and then staying stable. You eat 6 times a day with this program. So you have breakfast, AM snack, lunch, PM snack, dinner, and then HS snack. And HS just means hour of sleep. So HS snack was the one that I did at home, and that was around 8 o'clock, like right before bedtime. And they give you a list of like things you can do as a snack, and they have your parents kind of hold you accountable for that HS snack, and they kind of like sign off and just make sure. So like every single meal you get a signature if you complete everything. And yeah, so you need the signature. If you don't complete everything, you have to do Boost. Boost is a meal supplement. It's like a protein shake kind of thing. So if you don't finish your food, you have to Boost. There are 30 minutes to eat meals, 15 minutes to eat snacks. You're all eating together. They try to do like you play games and listen to music and stuff to try to like distract yourself. So I've learned a lot of fun games there. And yeah, so you pick out your food, you kind of get like a menu, like 2 weeks at a time, you'll pick out menus for the day. So you'll be like, you know, like Monday, this is breakfast, this is AM snack, this is whatever, you know, lunch, dinner. And you plan it out 2 weeks in advance. And then you kind of don't really have much of a say. So like I was a picky eater, I still am. I was not really a fan of a lot of the food, but you're not gonna love everything you eat, and that was kind of just like a way to train people to be able to like adapt to any situation and to know how to get the required like nutrients that they need. So everyone has a dietitian that they see one-on-one. They have a therapist that they see one-on-one and a psychiatrist that they see one-on-one. And that's your care team, and your care team kind of makes up, they make your meal plan, they make plans with any like medications maybe. You can talk to them about like any concerns you have, anything like that. So they kind of set your meal plan. When you come in, you have an assessment, and they kind of set your meal plan. So there are 5 categories they go based off of. They are, so protein, fats, grains, which are carbs, fruits and vegetables, and dairy. And then if you're lactose intolerant, they have options for that as well. If you're vegetarian or vegan, they do have options for that. They're very limited options, but they do respect that there. Yeah, so they kind of tell you how many like of each category you need for each meal, and then you kind of pick it out on the menu like every 2 weeks. So yeah, that's something. I already said boost. If you don't finish the meal, you have to boost. If you refuse to do the boost, you get a signature and like a negative signature, and you can get like, I think you get 5 negative signatures before you're moved up in your level of care. So the highest level of care is inpatient, and then the PHP that I was in, and then you go to intensive outpatient, and then you're good, you're done. So if you get 5 negative signatures in PHP, you get moved up to inpatient. And then at inpatient, if you're refusing to eat, they will intubate. They will do what they called I mean, we called it a nose hose when we were in there, but it's a tube that's feeding you, because they're not just gonna let you not eat as hard as it is. So there are people that have tubes in inpatient until we can get that, like until they, you know, can get them to start eating. So yeah, 5 negative signatures get you an inpatient. Negative signatures are if you don't complete your meal and you refuse to boost. If you boost too many times, so like if you do boost like 7 times a week, they're gonna put that as a signature. Like they don't want you to have to rely on supplements. If you do any behaviors like hiding food, like some people like hide in their pockets so they don't have to eat it. So hiding food is a big one. So is if you purge, that's a big one. So like when you're there, you can't flush the toilets, and it's like weird, and like it takes a while to get used to, but like you do your business, and then you have to wait for the MC to check, and she just looks at the toilet and makes sure you didn't purge or anything like that. So it's awkward and kind of embarrassing and uncomfortable in the beginning, but like they do it for everyone, and it's just called toilet checks. And they stand in there while you're in the bathroom to make sure they don't, like, you know, hear you throwing up or anything. Yeah, so they do those, which I had no idea that they did stuff like that until they started doing it. So that was kind of weird. I was like, dude, what? But like, it makes sense because I did used to purge and stuff, and I know a lot of people that were there did too. So that's preventative for that. If you do flush the toilet, like even on accident, you get a signature. The only time I got a signature was because I flushed the toilet on accident, and I was so mad at myself. I was like, oh my God, no, I didn't mean to. I promise. And she was like, no, I still got to give you a signature. And I was like, I hate getting in trouble. So it sucked. Yeah, so it's very different. So I actually went to ERC instead of my senior year in high school. So I mean, in there you get to do schooling for, I believe, 3 hours a day. Your school sends in the work that they need you to do and stuff, and then we have like chunks of time set apart for school within that, because I was in the 18 and under, I mean the 17 and under like section. There's a section for children, and then there's a section for adults 18 and over. So I was 17 at the time. So we do school because we're still in school. So there's the schoolwork, there's a bunch of therapies. So like you do like group therapies, you do like cognitive behavioral therapies, you do processing groups, you can do like values groups. There's a bunch of different things that we did every day. And we'd also have like rec time just to like chill out. We could color, we could, you know, play games, like whatever. And then what else? I'm trying to see if I'm forgetting anything. Oh yeah, so like everyone eats the same things. Like everyone has the same menus to choose from. We all eat the same things. We all eat the same amount. it's a good community because you're all there for the same reasons. You're all like, you can really relate to these people. Like, I bonded with a group of the people that I was with, and like I still hang out with them to this day. Like I will still talk to them to this day, and they're an amazing part of my support group. So it was great to be there because I was in a safe environment when I realized how sick I truly was, and I was in a safe environment as I healed from that. And I think it just really set me up for success in my recovery, and I'm still in recovery, but I feel like I'm doing a whole lot better now. So ERC really just like opened my eyes. So yeah, this was a really long video, but this is just kind of the components of PHP, which is the partial hospitalization program. And again, that was like 7 days a week. That was like almost 12 hours a day. Inpatient, you're in there, you live there. IOP is intensive outpatient therapy. And I believe you go for 3 hours, 3 times a week. So I was in PHP for a month, and then I was in outpatient for like 2.5 months. But those, you know, those times change based on the person and stuff. So I hope that answered any questions you might have. If you still have any questions or anything, you can email me, you can leave them in the comments. You can DM me on Instagram, anything like that. And I'll do my best to answer them from like my personal experience and just like the facility that I was at. Yeah, so I might be doing another one on the outpatient component of being in an eating recovery center, doing like the intensive outpatient care. I might do a video of that and just kind of explain like what goes on there and stuff. Just let me know if you guys want me to or not. Yeah, so sorry this was so long. I hope this was like helpful if any of you are wondering or considering, you know. I really am grateful for going to the eating recovery center because I feel like it helped me realize a lot of things. I made a lot of bonds with people, and it just set me really on the right path for recovery. And it really helped me a whole lot. So like if you're considering doing something like that, I highly recommend it. I believe my insurance did cover it, or part of it. I know that's probably a big thing with people because insurance, yeah. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can email me, DM me, leave them in the comments, anything like that. If you have an experience with it as well and you want to share anything about that, like go for it. I love hearing about like other people that are like, oh my god, like I went here too and it really helped me, because I really do feel like in the end it's a good experience. I mean, like when I was there, I literally hated it. I was like, oh my god, like I don't want to be here. But looking back on it, it was a really good thing for me. So yeah, I just rambled on for like another 4 minutes, sorry. Okay, so that's it. I'll probably do another poll on my Instagram to see what video I'm gonna do next. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this. Let me know if it was helpful or not. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you guys later.